But it's not blue though, so it looks like you're well lit. That's all. Is that the brightness of the Knicks losing or playing well? Or...
They're winning, but first they're not playing today. That's not play, but they're winners, sir. They are winners.
Yeah, the Knicks have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I've paid almost no attention to the NBA.
Missing out, sir. Missing out.
Probably, but like it's so hard because the team I like is bad.
I don't know. Those are the years I'm a casual fan.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very casual. But the thing that stinks about the Bulls being bad is they
Hmm.
haven't done anything to make themselves good, right? They were like, yeah, maybe it'll happen, and they just like let's just see what happens, right? Like you never know, we might turn good, and it's of no effort of their own that they'll be good. So that's the hard
I don't-
part.
yeah, they're not trying to be good, but they're not trying to be bad either. Like
No, yeah, they're not going out and saying we're gonna stink, but they are.
they, they lost to the Wizards last night.
Are the Wizards bad this year?
They're one of the worst teams in the
They also
NBA.
lost to the Pistons not that long ago.
Who are the worst team in
Yes.
the NBA?
History, maybe. They were like really bad. Didn't they lose like 40 straight games or something silly like that?
They're on pace. It was the 27, I think, but they're on pace to have their worst season in history.
Mm-hmm.
Like 16 games, I think is the fewest amount of wins they've had in the season. Last year they won 17.
Oh, boy.
They went and got a new coach,
Ugh.
who
Yeah.
Monty Williams, and they are not performing any better.
Yeah. They're at 12 wins. Oh, my God. The Wizards have 14 wins. The Pistons have 12 wins. And both those
San
teams
Antonio
have beat the
Spurs have
Bulls
like
at least
15.
once apiece. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
it's not very good. And the Bulls, for as bad as they are, they'll be in the playing game.
Yeah. Again, like what
They
difference does it
could
make?
have
It's pointless.
they could have made they got a chance at 8, right?
Mhm.
They're sitting at 9. Last night the Sixers lost, and last night they lost to the Wizards. Of all the times to lose to the Wizards, they could have gained a game on the Sixers. They lose to the Wizards. I was like, oh,
So the Bulls have 10 games left, and they are 5 games behind the Sixers.
could have been 4.
But yeah, that's a big
It's a
that's a
large gap.
that's a big jump right there.
Mhm.
Now the Knicks are sitting where the Knicks are gonna. Well, I won't jinx them, because if I say they could host a playoff, they could host the first round playoff series. That's when they'll lose a couple games, and the Magic will
Well,
catch up on them.
we're expecting to host one. Like we're expecting to be in the 4. We're going for 3. We're only a
Mhm.
half game right behind the Cavs right now
Mhm.
because nobody wants to play Boston in the second round of the playoffs. Like we'd rather play them in the Eastern Conference Finals. We don't want to play them in the second round of the
No.
playoffs. And I think people are less scared of the Milwaukee Bucks than they are of the
Oh, they should be. The
Celtics.
Bucks are not
They've
playing.
had some. They've started to pull it together. When Doc Rivers first got there, they went on a ridiculous losing streak
Yeah, they were not.
because they deserved it. They probably should not have fired their coach.
No.
That was one of the worst moves I've seen.
Very
And
strange. Yeah.
yeah, in
So what do you
coaching.
think, Pop
But
Pop? Holy smoke.
it's not even like he had an Ime Udoka scandal. They were winning. They had like almost 30 wins at the time that they got rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
And they just decided to get rid of him
Hmm.
because they felt that Doc was a better coach. Don't really feel that, but
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Yeah. It's basketball.
eliminated from the playoff contention at 12. Like losing 60 games, that's a lot of
There's a
losing.
lot of games to
That's
lose.
a lot of losing. And with 10 more games to go, they could lose 7, 8 of those.
Yeah. I mean, the Spurs might lose 60 games too.
Yeah, they play the Knicks on Friday, which I'll be going to, so I hope they'd lose that one.
Mm. That'll be the game Wemby goes off for like 110. Like 110, 40, and 40. It's like the greatest game in NBA history.
He looks like a creative player
Mhm.
in an NBA game. As if you would say, okay, what happens if I bump the height all the way up
Mm-hmm.
and the weight all the way down so he could be
Yes.
super fast and jump through the roof?
Yep.
That is what he looks like.
So when Madden came out this last year, I won a free copy from like
Oh,
a Twitter thing, right? It was like a Bears Twitter thing, and I won a copy of Madden. So the creative player is pretty cool, but because I was doing it, it piqued the interest of my children, and they both wanted to create their own character. So of course I created a quarterback the first time. First time through was a quarterback. Yeah, it was no, it was a running back. I created a running back. Then Hadley's like, "Oh, I want to play one." So she created, and then you get drafted, right? So you got to go through the draft process. I got, oh no, I was a quarterback, and I got drafted by the Saints, which didn't make any sense because they had just signed Derek Carr in real
their
life.
car.
Like they wouldn't pick me at 12. Like that doesn't even make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So then she created a wide receiver. This wide receiver's name is Jordan Poppins. I don't know why it's those things. He is as tall as you can make a player. He is enormous. He is a big buff man, right? He looks like Shaq running out there on the field, right? But she understood the concept of calling for the ball, and because her character is so much taller than every other player, like
They just throw the ball his way.
yeah, she just catches everything. So, but she was also drafted by the Saints. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. They just drafted. They have Chris Olave. Like they're not going to draft it. But I guess
Michael Thomas is going. They know Michael Thomas is
I'm gonna tell
going.
you
So
what. If this Jordan Poppins character existed in real life, who
he'd be number one.
because you go through the combine, right, and that increases your stats. And like one of them is running the 40, and I think this character ran like a 4.48 40. Did like 28 bench press reps and all.
28.
It was
Jesus
insane.
Christ.
It was so insane. She just like got the hang of it. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like hitting the sticks and doing the bench press reps. If this character was a real person, they would be picked number one, regardless of position.
Overall.
Like they might draft him at wide receiver and be like, we're going to make you a defensive end, right? Like it doesn't or to play it both ways. It doesn't matter, right? So
I don't think we've ever seen the wide receiver defensive end combo.
no, nope. And it's just so funny. She's like, she doesn't understand the concepts of like what good statistics would be for a season. So she's playing her first rookie year, and she's like, I think Derek Carr's a really good quarterback. It's like, I don't know, maybe. Like, why? She pulls it up, and she's got like 3,000 yards receiving with 70 touchdowns. and Derek Carr's got like 6,000 yards passing. I'm like, Derek Carr isn't
the
that
greatest.
good.
He's the obviously the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yes, that's why I told him like, and it was like game 9, right?
Oh man, she's killing it.
Yeah,
She's killing it. Jordan Poppins is the
Yep.
first ballot Hall of Famer in only 1 year
Yep,
career.
I told you, like you're a Hall of Fame player, and I think the Saints want us no, so because you only control your character, and you only play the downs in which you're out there, right? So they got to the Super Bowl and they lost, like after and the game 100% cheats in that regard, right? 100% because like I had the same situation. I didn't make the Super Bowl the first year, but as a running back. I was a 2,000-yard rusher. I took the Saints to the Super Bowl, and we lost like 48-47 because we were up, and then the other team like interception for a pick six, and then another pick six. Like we would not be throwing the ball in this situation. What are we doing?
Giving it to the Colonel Bulldozer or whatever you named it.
Yep. No. I'm just always Derek, right? So,
okay.
But because I can't use my last name because it's got profanity in it and profanity filters.
Oh, no.
So I had to be like Derek Glass or something like that, right? So,
Not Derek. What was your nickname? Because they always let you do a nickname.
Oh, the big cock. No.
Oh.
No, and that was from the drop down. Put in my last name, no thanks.
Oh man, that's a name. That's a name that they'd have to say. Oh,
There goes the big cock up the middle.
oh look at them part ways for the big cock.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
All right.
That's good.
So the Wemby creative player, yeah, but there's no Jordan Poppins, and Hadley will ask about Jordan Poppins every once in a while.
If Jordan Poppins was real, what would he be? He'd be
Yeah,
the best
exactly.
player of all
It's stuff like that. Or we watching a game, she'd be like, "Well, now if Jordan Poppins was out there," I'm like, "Well, yeah,
time.
of course. Jordan Poppins is 7'4", right?
Runs a 4-4. Oh
Well,
no.
it's got to be all due to leg length. I mean, it only takes
Yes,
4 strides
it's
to
6 strides and he's
Yep.
there. Oh man. I saw a video on IG the other day. It was Matt Leinart posted it.
Uh-huh.
It was him running the 40-yard dash
Ooh.
after having double hips replacement surgery.
Like,
Now, granted, it was for joking. He walked the 40 yards.
uh-huh.
But I did not know Matt Leinart had double hip replacement
No, I didn't
surgery.
know he would be old enough to like even need double
No.
hip. But I guess
Did football tear him up like that?
yeah, I'm gonna imagine so. I have a brother-in-law who has had his hip replaced multiple times, and he's younger than me, so it's just a degenerative thing, I guess. Could be hereditary, but and then to add on football.
Yeah, that could have been. That does seem like degenerative, right? Because Matt Leinert's got to be my age. Like I remember him in college.
Yeah.
He was in college around the same time I was in college.
Yeah, I remember getting drafted.
Yeah, he's Vince Young's quarterback.
He's 40. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He's got to be.
He's
Like,
born in
it
83.
has to be degenerative.
Yeah,
Because that just seems like he didn't even have that big of a professional career.
well, that's a good question. How many seasons did he play? I remember him being pretty meh for a career.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, he only played 6 seasons.
And that's just being on a team for 6 seasons. The games he actually played is probably less.
He only
Way
started
less.
18 games. Yeah,
Yeah.
and 11 of them were his rookie season. I'm gonna guess he got hurt the next year.
I was gonna say, did he have an injury?
He had to have, because he was, what draft pick was he? He was like a high draft pick. Oh shoot! Now I got Google Matt Leinart draft. This is gonna like Matt Leinart draft, 10th overall in the first round of the 2006 NFL draft by the Cardinals. But he started.
Matt Leinart's shoulder injury will be the last straw for bust. That is what Bleacher Report said in 2011. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and he was on Houston, so he played 4 seasons with the Arizona.
I remember him with Arizona.
That's where he was drafted. Never played more than 11 games. Well, played 11 and then never started more than 5 after that. 11 starts, 5 starts, no starts, 1 start, no start out of the league. That's rough. Because I remember him being a good quarterback in college.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, that was Vince Young's. No, not Vince Young. That was what's his name's quarterback, Reggie Bush.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Well, let's look at the 2006 draft. Number 1 was Mario Williams, then Reggie Bush, then Vince Young. Well, there's some good players in there. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, the AJ Hawk, the best part of
the Packer AJ Hawk.
Packer AJ Hawk, but also Pat McAfee's silent friend. Do you ever watch Pat McAfee's show? I don't either, but I see clips, right? The clips Philip, and every time there's AJ Hawk sitting there going for like 3 minutes while Pat McAfee talks, and that's it. That's always the clip. I don't know what his voice sounds like. Vernon Davis.
Good.
Jay Cutler. It went Leinart and Cutler in the draft. Haloti Ngata was a good defensive tackle for the Ravens for a long time. Antonio Cromartie was in that draft.
Chargers drafted him, right?
Yep. D'Angelo Williams, Mercedes
That was
Lewis.
before he had Is he Rogers Cromartie is the one with 20 kids or so that he
Oh yeah, I think so.
the other Cromartie. You said D'Angelo Williams?
D'Angelo Williams, yeah, for
Maybe not Hall of Famers in that class,
no.
but definitely really good
Yeah,
players.
Marseille's loose. Joseph Adai. Joseph Adai was a really good ball player.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Pro Bowlers. Greg Jennings, Devin Hester was in that draft. MJD was in that draft. Tim Jennings, quarterback.
Who the
Corner.
Giants draft that year? 2006.
Who did the Giants draft? Let's see.
Brandon Jacobs? No.
That was the Texans' first year in the league, I think, because they had the number one.
But they had Mario
They
Williams.
picked Mario
I don't think it
Williams.
was their first. 2006 seems late for them. It might be, though. You're right. You might be right.
Let's see. Who did the Giants take in the first round? They took. Where are you at, Giants?
They wouldn't have had one. They probably wouldn't have had one. It was probably Chargers picked
Oh,
Sean
yeah.
Marion because it would have gone to they would have given it up for Eli Manning the year before that probably.
Well,
So it was probably the Chargers take Sean Marion. I thought they had with that pick.
Steelers have the Giants pick,
Okay.
and they took Santonio Holmes.
Okay.
And then the Giants, did they have a second? Oh, wait, here's the Giants. Oh, weird. The Giants took a player 32nd overall from
Oh,
the Steelers.
Matthias Kiwanuka.
Yeah, Matthias Kiwanuka. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I have no idea who that person is.
Oh, he played defensive end on those championship teams. Yeah, he was part of that the NASCAR package that he made where he had 4D linemen lining up on the defensive line, not 4D linemen, 4 defensive ends. It was Justin Tuck, Osi Umenyiora, Matthias Kiwanuka, and Strahan. All 4 of them, all 4 defensive ends
On a
played the
4-3,
front.
they didn't play any nose tackles or 3 tackles?
No tackles at all. He called it his NASCAR package, and all 4 of them played on the line.
Now, here's a player they took in the second round who I have no idea who this is. Senior Rice Moss?
Sonoris Moss.
Sonoris Moss.
Santana Moss's brother.
Oh.
Remember Santana Moss?
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Uh-huh.
They took him at 44.
There are some really good players. I'm looking at, I got the draft up. Lindell White, which didn't have the great pro career, but college career was good.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Whitworth. He just retired, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple years ago. Right after the Rams won the Super Bowl, he retired. And now he's on Amazon. Yeah, I mean, this is a really good draft. There are a lot of good ball players in there. Brandon Marshall in the 4th round.
Yeah, there's some Pro Bowlers in the 4th round.
So the Broncos that season took Cutler in the 1st and Brandon Marshall in the 4th. They hit on both of those.
Yeah.
And they got rid of both of them.
They
They got rid of Cutler because of everyone's favorite Titanic captains of Titanic captains, and Josh McDaniels.
So Josh McDaniels could draft Tim Tebow.
Yeah. Had to have Tim Tebow in there. Oh my God. They also drafted Elvis Dumervil in that draft too.
Not a bad pick. There are Pro Bowlers as far down as the 7th round. Cortland Finnegan was a 7th round pick that draft.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of good ball players in that draft. That's a good draft. Not a great quarterback draft. Jay Cutler was the best one out of the lot. and he had an okay career, right? He wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Antoine Bethea for the Colts. This is a solid draft top to bottom. You would think that everyone would have picked the Pro Bowl. Giants did. The Giants didn't get a Pro Bowl in this draft.
Who did the Bears draft in 2006? No, I'm curious.
Devin Hester was on
Devin
that
Hester
list.
in the 2nd round. Yeah.
Second round. Yep.
Hall of Famer right there, so that's good.
Yes.
Now, it would not surprise me if the Bears didn't have a first round pick because that's just kind of how they have always
Well,
rolled.
with the Bears, I like to look way up there, like the top picks, because they're not very good now.
It's usually
They
pretty.
were a good team. No, they were a good team in 2006. Didn't they make the? Wasn't that the Super Bowl year? No, because
Uh,
Devin Hester would have been on that team.
so they had the 26th pick that they traded to the Buffalo Bills for something. Who knows? Or ended up in the Bills' possession, and they took John McCargo, defensive tackle from NC State.
In the second round, their first pick from Buffalo, they picked Danielle Manning. Who?
Daniel Manning, yeah, he was a safety.
Yep.
He was good for quite a bit, and they also drafted Hester in that draft too.
Yes, they got him in the second round. So yeah, same round.
Yeah, so not bad. You got a Hall of Famer out of the lot. The Bears have traditionally drafted pretty well when it comes to rounds that aren't the first.
Yeah, I can't say the same for my team. I can't say the same for my
But
team.
then I see Dusty Dvorak on here, third round defensive tackle they took, and he never amounted to anything. Oh,
the,
Bears.
the last 10 years of Giants draft picks have not been good.
No.
Like I saw something that was talking about 10 years and there were names on there that it was so recent though, you would think I'd remember. I completely forgot about them. There was that one that cornerback that we drafted, and then he
Eli
got
Apple?
gunshot. Nope,
Oh.
nope. He starts him. I think that the year, but it was a cornerback we drafted after. Why do I want to say DeAndre Baker? Is that him? I think that's to him. DeAndre Baker.
What year?
Football
I
cornerback.
have
Yes,
the New York
that's him.
Giants draft history here
Uh-huh.
right in front of me. What year are we looking at? You want to go the last 10 years?
10 years. We can go from 2014.
Let's go 2014. Let's see what they've done.
Let's just do first 3 rounds.
Okay.
Well,
That works. In 2014, their first round 12th pick was Odell Beckham Jr. Good pick.
Yes.
Excellent. Outstanding
Yes.
pick out of LSU.
Yes.
Second round, pick 11 was Weston Richburg, offensive center
Yes, he
from
was good.
Colorado State.
He was good. I like Weston.
Third round, Jay Bromley, defensive tackle from Syracuse.
Not good.
Fourth round, Andre Williams, the running back from Boston College.
He lasted a hot second.
Yeah. Now let's go 2015. First round.
I think this is Eli
ninth
Apple.
pick, Eric Flowers.
Oh, yeah, this is when it
guard
starts.
out of Miami. Now,
if we were ranking these, I'd say the worst pick of the 10 years. I don't think I'm going to get any worse than that.
well, let's find out. Second pick was Landon Collins out of Alabama, defensive back.
Pro Bowler.
Safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
Third round was Omgabi Odigizua.
Odizua?
Odighizuwa out of UCLA, defensive end.
I think he's still in the league.
I don't recognize that name, but he might be, though. They didn't have a fourth rounder that year. 2016, first round. I remember this draft. 10th pick, Eli Apple out of Ohio State.
Yeah.
Second round.
I'll tell you what about Eli Apple. This is why he continues to bounce around the league, right? This is why he continues to find his way on teams. And they're like, man, this Eli Apple guy is pretty good. He looks good on paper.
Mm-hmm.
He can actually cover. But when the ball is thrown his way, he is going to hold you. Yeah. And if they call it, he's going. That's how he doesn't let people get past him. He just holds them.
Here's the thing: you got to have about 150 defensive backs to fill out the NFL. Is he a top 150 defensive back?
He plays like
sure.
He's on teams like he is, because when he's on the team, he's their number one cornerback. Yep. He's the cornerback that is going to be guarding your number one. And he's going to quickly do this when you drop the ball. He's going to claim he did all the work.
Yeah.
He didn't do any work.
From the Ohio State. Then second round, he had Sterling Shepard, wide receiver from Oklahoma.
Played his whole career with the Giants. Going to retire the Giant. Got to give him love. Never more than number 2.
Then in the third round, the defensive back from Boise State, Darian Thompson.
No, not good.
And in the fourth round, from Clemson, the linebacker B.J. Goodson.
BJ Goodson played for a while. He played some time. I think after us, I think either we traded him to Cincinnati at one point in time.
Yeah. I don't even know. Now, 2017, first round from Ole Miss, tight end, Evan Ingram.
Still in the league. Was a Pro Bowler for the Giants.
Right? Got a nice.
For the Giants, he was playing Pro Bowler. He's been a Pro Bowler pretty much surprising in his career.
He's at Jacksonville,
like 3 or 4
now,
Pro.
Right?
Yep,
yeah.
Being a Pro Bowler over there.
Yeah, he got a nice contract extension last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Second round, defensive end from Bama, Dalvin Tomlinson.
Yeah, man. You notice none of these players are still on the team.
I don't recognize half these names.
Dalvin, defensive, wound up playing defensive tackle in the league. Really liked him. Plays, I think, still for the Minnesota Vikings.
It might, yeah. I mean, 2017 wasn't that long ago, so you'd think that most would still be. Most of them should still be in the league. I really like Dalvin as a defensive tackle. Third round, from Cal, quarterback, Davis Webb.
He played. He's now a coach in NFL, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
I believe 7 years he's now changed from player to coach.
Man, yeah. Here's a name I do not know. Fourth round, from Clemson, running back, Wayne Gallman.
I liked Wayne. I did like Wayne Gallman as a running back. This is where you're going to get a lot of your running backs from in this third and fourth round.
Yep.
And I like Wayne Gallman. He did not last a long time, but yeah, I like him.
Now we're in 2018, right?
Yes.
So we should be. You would hope that you have players that have been drafted that are still on the Giants
and on your roster.
Right?
They could be in the league, but like I told you, of the people that you just mentioned who were good, they're not there.
No.
Evan Ingram still plays.
Yeah.
Not on the team anymore.
It's tough. It's tough to keep, but you'd hope to have a few that stay. Now this one's going to hurt because it's first round, second pick, Saquon Barkley. Right?
Just lost him.
Great.
I got nothing bad to say about him.
Second
going to be
round,
missed.
Offensive guard from UTEP, Will Hernandez.
Oh my God! I was hoping for big things for Will Hernandez.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in the league anymore. We had him. He went to the Cardinals.
Yeah,
and he never quite got it right with the Cardinals. I don't know if he's in the league anymore.
I don't know.
Second round pick. He should be.
You'd think. Third round. The Giants had 2 third rounders this year. First one, pick number 66 from Georgia, linebacker Lorenzo Carter.
Is he still on the team? If he's not, he just recently left.
No clue. And then their second third rounder was out of North Carolina State, the defensive end, B.J. Hill.
I liked him too. I think when you said Goodson, I thought of Hill. I'm pretty sure that B.J. Hill is the one who went to the Bengals. Yes, he did. He's still on the Bengals. Yes.
And then the fourth round from Richmond, whose mascot is a spider. I did not know that. Kyle Lauletta, quarterback.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Never saw.
I don't even recognize the name. Oh, now 2019, this is an interesting draft. They have 3 first-round picks.
Yeah. Let's get ready. Get ready for him because one of them is DeAndre Baker.
Well, the first one is pick number 6, Daniel Jones out of Duke.
Daniel Jones. Yep, he's still on the team.
Still on the team. Second first rounder is number 17 from Cleveland out of Clemson, Dexter Lawrence.
Solid pick. Pro Bowl, all pro.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
And then out of Georgia, the defensive back, DeAndre Baker, number 30 pick.
He might be in jail. Because I remember after his rookie season, he got in trouble with the law.
Now
he now plays for the UFL with the DC Defenders.
Oh, okay.
I just saw that.
Public defenders?
You might as well be.
Now, why did the Giants have to forfeit their third round pick that season?
Forfeit?
Their own. They don't have any second rounders. Their own third round pick is forfeited. Pick 71.
Trying to think what we would have done.
I don't know.
Not collusion. Not did we?
Tampering?
Not was it? It would have to be tampering
Yeah, I
of
don't
some
know.
sort.
That's weird. Well, now I gotta look. Why did the Giants forfeit their 29th third? Why did the Giants forfeit their third round pick 2019? Um,
Oh, that's the San Francisco Foot Giants.
why can Giants? I don't know. Does not say anything about forfeiting. Like almost like it's erased from the record books.
Words from history.
I don't know, but they did have a third round pick that they traded from Cleveland. Oh, this must have been part of the OBJ trade, right? Because they got drafted Dexter Lawrence, and then
No, OBJ was still on the team at that time.
really, well, who?
No, no, he because Saquon Barkley was and OBJ spent 1 year together,
Mm-hmm.
and then that what's name was traded the next year. So if this is the second year with Daniel
This is the
Jones,
first year with Daniel Jones. He's a rookie.
first year with Daniel Jones as a rookie, Eli Manning is the quarterback. You're right. Saquon is traded mid-season
Yeah,
this year, and that's where they would have got the trade. That's where they would have got players from Cleveland.
from
So
OJ.
yeah,
So they
you're
got
right.
they got the first round pick, which was Dexter Lawrence, a third round pick, which is from Old Dominion, O'Shane's Zimenez.
Zimenez. They just re-signed O'Shane Zimenez, or they let him walk.
No clue.
It's he still got him as a football outside linebacker. See if they have him as the Giants. Current team is the
Mm.
Giants. Yes, Giants re-signed O'Shane Zimenez.
And then the fourth round pick from Notre Dame, a defensive back, Julian Love.
Oh man, that was the pick. That was the pick. Julian Love winds up being a Pro Bowler for Seattle this year.
That sucks.
It does. First year they let him go. Back to back years we're losing our safety. Last year was Julian Love, who winds up going to the Seattle to be a Pro Bowl over there. This year we're losing Xavier McKinnon to the Green Bay Packers, who will probably be a Pro Bowler over there.
Speaking of Xavier McKinney, the 2020 draft features in the first round from out of Georgia, Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle.
Andrew Thomas hit. It's a hit.
Yes. Took
Pro,
a year
another
and a
All
half,
Pro.
but he hit. Right?
Yes.
Second round, defensive back from Alabama, Xavier McKinney.
I think that was a hit as well. They should have
Yeah,
re-signed him.
he's a good ball player. Third round.
Never been an All Pro. Never been a Pro
Yeah,
Bowler.
but I
So
mean,
that was the
not
thing.
every player is
Not-
gonna be a Pro Bowler, right? You
exactly.
still have to have good
Exactly. You
players.
got to, and that, but if you're a Pro Bowler, you're saying, I'm probably not going to find another Pro Bowl in the draft. You're going to find someone who's good and not Pro Bowl level. You could probably find the person,
Yeah.
and I think that's what the Giants are trying thinking. But to me, he played at a Pro Bowl level. He played all 17 games. I don't think he missed many snaps this year. You're not going to find that player everywhere. So
Yeah,
they messed up, in my
that's
opinion.
tough. Yeah, when they did they even extend an offer to him at all, or they just let him walk altogether?
I don't know if they extended an offer to him.
Yeah, that stinks. Like, why would you not? But whatever. And I get it because there were a lot of safeties that were either cut or just let walk into free agency. So like a lot of safeties this year. Like there were a
They
lot
picked up one.
like there were a lot of running backs last year. A lot of safeties this year. Third round from UConn, offensive tackle Matt Pert.
He's still there.
Yep.
Still there. Been injured, but Matt Pert's still there.
And then in the fourth round from UCLA, defensive back Darnay Holmes.
They just re-signed him. If you don't know Darnay Holmes, he's the one who looked like he was getting a rub and tug on the sideline.
Oh, him? Nice. Yeah, I know him.
Pants down. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, get the 10 out. For God's sakes.
Like two hands working it, right? You're just like, man. Don't forget
Oh.
about the Bulls. 2021 draft. First
We should
round
definitely have these people. We should have these people. 2021, right?
They traded down from 11 to 20. with the
I know this
Bears.
guy.
From Florida, Kadarius Toney, wide
not
receiver.
not on our team anymore. May not be in the league anymore since the Kansas City
Yeah, I
Chiefs.
don't. That's rough. Same thing like defensive backs. There's got to be like 140 wide receivers in the league. Is he a top 140 wide receiver? I don't know. Maybe more. Probably like I imagine most teams carry 5 or 6 wide receivers, right? Because you have to have special teamers and stuff.
Got special teamers. Yeah, you
So you
got
can
at
need like
least four.
180, 200
Let's
wide
rotate.
receivers to. Will Kadarius Toney be one of them? I don't
His
know.
attitude makes him not one of them.
You know who isn't yet, and probably will never be ever again? Chase Claypool. Second round from Miami. The pick from Miami, the player from Georgia, Azeez Ojulari, linebacker.
He was supposed to be injuries have hurt that guy. They basically
I don't
just
even know the name. I know the name Ojulari. There's a lot of Ojularis, but I don't know Azeez Ojulari.
No. He probably led the team in sacks most of the years he's been on the team. But he can only play like 7-8 games a season.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy how many sacks he gets when he is playing. But they basically just hired at his position when they got Burns. He's basically just he's the odd man out. I don't even know if he's still on the team.
Third rounder. They got the pick from Denver. Out of UCF, defensive back Aaron Robinson.
I think he's still on the team. He should be. He's only 3 years, 4 years into the league.
Now, in the fourth round, I had to mouse over the school because I have no idea what it was. The 11th pick of the fourth round from Northern Iowa, wide receiver Ellerson Smith.
No.
I don't know that name. No. I don't know the school.
I'm going to tell you what, though. There was a time, maybe a year or two, he might have started. The Giants' wide receiver core was so depleted and so bad. I am pretty sure at one point in time he started. We're talking about the Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard's been injured.
Yeah.
Wan'Dale Robinson got injured, and we were just running whatever 4 guys we had playing wide receiver.
Now, here we are.
Kenny Galladay wasn't even injured. He was just trash.
Yeah, yes, he was. Now, here's 2022. Now, they have, in my opinion, what could be a franchise foundation amount of first 100 picks. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks out of the top 114, which is a lot, right?
You talking about in that draft or
in
just
2022, right here? So in the first round, we have pick number 5 out of Oregon, Kayvon Thibodeau. Good pick.
2-2. Yep, good pick.
Number 7
and
from
Mr.
Chicago is Alabama, Evan Neal, offensive
Evan
tackle.
Neal, hopefully, I don't think he'll be offensive tackle. I think they're moving him to guard. Hopefully, he can get keep his career, but not looking good so far. 2 years in, not looking good.
Then in the second, from the University of Kentucky, Wan'Dale Robinson.
Wan'Dale Robinson, like him. He's a short wide receiver. I felt like that was the pick that basically told Sterling Shepard, you might want to pack it up. This guy is going to take your spot.
Then in the third round, out of UNC, offensive tackle Joshua Ezeudu.
Yep, they had him playing. Yeah, he's still there, still solid. He really comes in as a bench player sometimes, but he's solid. Started some time at right tackle when Evan Neal's hurt.
Then
solid.
If you're on a roster, you're doing okay. And then they have another third round pick they got from Miami out of LSU, defensive back Cordale Flott.
He still plays. He actually plays at a high level. He does pretty good. He plays the nickel cornerback position and does a good job playing nickel. He probably won't. If I see him on the outside, I'm upset. But if he's playing nickel, I'm cool with it. Real good.
And then a fourth round pick, part of the Justin Fields trade from San Diego State, tight end Daniel Bellinger.
Like Daniel Bellinger, him and DJ have a rapport. He can block well. He's not very fast. He's like your basic tight end, but big guy, blocks well, comes off the break, can catch a little bit. I like Daniel Bellinger.
And then the
We
other,
don't know if he's going to start because we have no clue what's happening with the tight end we just got last year.
is he going to
He
retire?
claims don't know yet. He's not told anybody.
Oh,
The Giants, I think, are going with the fact that you're on our roster. So, yeah, we'll see.
yeah. And then another fourth round pick out of Iowa, defensive back Dane Belton.
Plays. Okay, I think they actually have him playing safety. I think they have Belton as safety now.
And then last year's draft, out of Maryland, Deontay Banks in the first round,
Lovely pick.
defensive back. Yep. And the second round, out of Minnesota, John Michael Schmitz, the center.
Center. I like Schmitz. He had injured, but it was a rookie year, but he had good time. I think he's going to be our center for a long time.
He was the guy I wanted the Bears to go after, but they just didn't. In the third round from Tennessee, Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver.
Yep. Wide receiver, good. Needs to learn to run better routes or run more. He's fast.
He's a burner.
He's fast.
He's a burner.
He's fast.
He's a stretch
And
field
I'm
guy.
surprised at how often he gets behind the defense.
Just doesn't get
Because
throws.
he doesn't. Well, I'll tell you what, he had better throws when Tyrod Taylor and Danny Cutlets was throwing the ball than DJ ever did.
Let's see, now I'm curious. I want to do this for the Bears now.
Yes, he should.
Because it wasn't the Giants weren't terrible. That wasn't bad.
Half those people from 2000, like you said, if 6 or 7 years these guys should be on your team. 6 years back, you should hope that your top picks are on your team. Our top picks aren't on our team.
I can tell you right now, there isn't a lot from the Bears that are still on the Bears. Right. So let's go back to 2014. First round out of Virginia Tech, Kyle Fuller, defensive back. He was a Pro Bowler. He had a nice career. Second round, out of LSU, defensive tackle Ego Ferguson.
Oh, you said second round?
Yes.
I've never heard the name.
Yeah. Third round out of Arizona State, defensive tackle Will Sutton.
Okay. Well, I heard Sutton. I don't know if that was
I don't think it's the same one. Fourth round, out of Arizona, running back Kadeem Carey. And then defensive back out of Minnesota, Brock Vereen.
Either I'm not a fan of the Bears or I've never.
You're fine. You're fine not knowing these. Now, 2015. This was the draft. They needed a wide receiver bad. And Amari Cooper went 5th or 6th, I think. So in the first round out of West Virginia at the 7th pick, they take Kevin White, wide receiver.
Wasn't he a burner? Wasn't he just a real fast guy? No.
He was a really hurt guy. I don't think he played more than 3 games an entire season, and I don't think he's in the NFL anymore.
Yeah, that would be a 9-year career if he was.
Yeah. And then in the second round, out of Florida State, defensive tackle Eddie Goldman, who was a good ball player, very good ball player. I think he made a Pro Bowl 1 year. Then out of Oregon, offensive center Hronis Grasu, and he never turned into anything. Yes, Hronis, Hronis Grasu, never anything. And then in the fourth round, a fantasy savior for maybe a year out of Michigan State, running back Jeremy Langford. 2016, out of Georgia, first round. They traded up to get him. At 9, they traded up with Tampa Bay to take linebacker Leonard Floyd. Still in the league, still a productive pass rusher. The Bears didn't understand how to use him. Second round out of Kansas State, center. It says wide receiver on here, but it's not. He is a center. Cody Whitehair. He was just released this last year to free up cap space. But he was their starting center for quite some time. Then defensive end out of Florida from the round, Jonathan Bullard. And then out of West Virginia, they had three fourth round picks that year. Linebacker Nick Kwiatkowski, who once became a free agent, went to the Broncos. He was all right. He was one of those he's like a classic Bears player, hit you in the mouth linebacker Kwiatkowski. He's got the buzz cut, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Deion Bush, defensive back, safety out of Miami, who's pretty good. And then out of Northern Iowa comes up again, DeAndre Hall. I don't remember him at all.
Mm-mm.
Now,
Mm-mm.
2017, one of the greatest Bears drafts ever. Trading up from 3 to 2 to take from the University of North Carolina, Mitchell Trubisky.
Ugh. Yeah, we know how that went. We don't need to beat that dead horse.
Then in the second round from Ashland University. Second round, Ashland University. Tight end, Adam Shaheen.
Second round from
Yes.
Ashland University. I don't even know what that is.
No one
North
knows
Carolina?
what that is. Do you know who was taken not too many picks after that?
Oh no.
I believe George Kittle, tight end.
That's a pretty good tight end. That's a pretty good tight end.
Yes. Now, this is
Especially
actually
if you need
a
one.
couple of good picks after that. We had fourth rounder safety from Alabama, Eddie Jackson.
Solid.
Bears just released him this last year's salary cap cut. And then fourth rounder out of North Carolina A&T, running back Tariq Cohen, who unfortunate,
Decent.
man, he got a deal and then went out there and tore every ligament below his waist. He's never played
That's
again.
rough.
I think Carolina signed him last year. I don't know if he'll ever touch a football field again, though. 2018. Decent draft. Well, it's a decent draft. First round, Roquan Smith out of Georgia. He's, of course,
Yes, not your team, and you'd hope.
Great player. Yep. Second round, guard out of Iowa, James Daniels. He's on maybe Steelers now. Then second rounder, boy, everybody thought this guy was going to be good out of Memphis. Anthony Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's in the league anymore. And then our Western Kentucky, Joel Eog. Oh, I remember how to say it, but I'm not going to do it. Eogbuine. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's not in the league. And then 2019, Iowa State, David Montgomery. Third round. That was the first pick they had, was the third round. David Montgomery. And their fourth rounder, Riley Ridley, Calvin Ridley's younger brother, out of Georgia. Guess what? He probably should take up gambling because he's not. Nobody up until this point is still on the Bears. And that was 2020 or 2019. 2020, second round, first pick, right? Because they gave up whatever. I don't even know why. Oh, Khalil Mack trade. That's why they don't have any first rounders. So Notre Dame, Cole Kmet.
We know what he's doing. Still on the team. First one that's still on the team, right?
And still on the team. One of the probably a top 10 tight end in football, I would say.
Yep.
Second pick out of Utah, Jalen Johnson, Pro Bowler, second team All Pro this last year. Just had a huge contract extension. One of probably the best defensive backs in football right now. That's all they had in the first 4 rounds with those 2 picks in 2020.
Solid.
Did okay.
You're going to use your 2 picks. That was a good 2
Did
picks.
okay, because then you got in the 5th round, you had Darnell Mooney from Tulane.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a terrible draft. 2021. No. This is the draft that starts the Bears on their current trajectory. First round trade up from 20 to 11 for Justin Fields out of Ohio State. Then they trade up in the second round to get Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle, who now plays guard out of Oklahoma State. Then they get another tackle out of Missouri, Larry Borum. Well, that's the 5th round. So they only had 2 picks in the first 4 rounds. Justin Fields, Tevin Jenkins. They also drafted Khalil.
How's Tevin Jenkins?
Tevin Jenkins, he's a monster. If he stays on the field, he's one of the better guards in football. But he is injury prone. Khalil Herbert was also a 6th rounder that year from Virginia Tech. Then we have in 2022, this was the first Ryan Poles draft. So the 2021 draft was
a lot of picks this draft.
Yeah, well, they didn't start with a ton, and they built that up because I think they started off with 5 picks and they turned that into whatever they have here, like 9 picks. Mm-hmm. Second round, Kyler Gordon, nickelback out of Washington. Second round, Jaquan Brisker, safety from Penn State. Both very good players. I think Jaquan Brisker is going to be a Pro Bowler eventually.
Sometime.
Third round, Velus Jones Jr. This was the one
I heard that name before.
Yeah. Out of Tennessee. He is the man that was like 25 when he was drafted, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's old man Velus Jones Jr. He's fast, doesn't get on the field very much. He might
Still-
now. So with the new kickoff rules, he might get a little more because he's a kick returner.
Mm.
And then now last year, 2023, they had the first number 1 pick. They traded that off to 9, and they dropped from 9 to 10. They took Darnell Wright, offensive tackle, started all 17 games last season. Is the only rookie offensive lineman to have a 60 or better grade from PFF in run blocking and pass blocking last season. So good season. Then we got Gervon Dexter Jr. or Senior, I'm sorry, from Florida. High motor defensive tackle, 3 technique, sort of really turned it around once Montez Sweat got on the line.
That helps.
Yep. Tyreek Stevenson, cornerback out of Miami. Started rough, had an amazing back half to his season. Like it clicked for him, and he was really good. Then the 3rd round, Zach Pickens out of South Carolina, another defensive tackle. He's still learning. But he has potential to be pretty good. And then the 4th round, you got Rojo out of Texas, running back, who I think is going to be an amazing running back. And then
if he can get behind the 3 guys that are ahead of him,
I think he's going to jump ahead of Khalil Herbert this year. And then you got Cincinnati wide receiver speedster Tyler Scott. He's a guy that can run under a bomb. Can he always catch it? Yeah, to be seen.
I think that what I'm seeing is you guys have not really done well at the wide receiver position.
No, heavens no. Heavens no. I think Tyler Scott, of all of the names we listed here, Tyler Scott's probably got the most potential. Darnell Mooney was good, but he was like a 6th rounder.
That's what I'm looking. I'm like trying to see the earliest round that you've picked the wide receiver, and Velus Jones Jr. in the 3rd round is the highest one I've seen.
Yeah, you have to go back pretty far because,
Anthony
Kevin
Miller
White
in the 2nd round.
What's that?
Anthony Miller in the 2nd round was 1-2.
He wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But then
and then like you said, Kevin White in 2015.
Kevin White 1st round, and I don't think he played a full season's worth of games through his entire career.
Yeah, I'm looking at his stats right here. His first season. Oh, man, this is bad.
Yeah.
First 2016, his rookie year.
Yes.
4 games, 4 games started. 2017, his 2nd year, 1 game, 1 game started.
Yep.
His 2018, he's still on the Bears, 9 games, 0 started.
Yeah.
He's now wide receiver for the San Francisco or SFO. That's San Francisco, right?
Yeah, I think so.
What's the O for? Okay. San Francisco, 3 games, 0 starts, 0 targets, 0 everything.
Yeah, he's a special teamer, probably.
Then he goes to New Orleans. He plays 6 games. He gets 1 start, and this is his first reception in 2 years. And then he was on the New Orleans Saints in 2022 as well, with 2 games started. Yeah, he's not been very good.
No, it was a rough run for him for sure.
He does not have a touchdown in his NFL career. Receiving or rushing. He's got 397 yards and 28 receptions his entire career. That's unfortunate for a 1st round pick.
Yeah, he got hurt, right? I mean,
he got hurt. It looks like it.
Yeah, he like his leg exploded, I think. Was that the 2015 draft?
Yes, 2015 draft. He played in the 2016 season.
So the 2015 NFL draft. Let me get there.
He was the 7th pick.
Amari Cooper was the 4th pick. Kevin White was the 7th pick. Okay, so you couldn't
get that.
Devontae Parker was the 14th pick. These are wide receivers. Nelson Aguilar was the 20th pick.
Yeah, don't worry. You didn't mess up.
Rashad Perryman was the 26th pick. Philip Dorsett was the 29th pick. Wow, man. Hitting on a wide receiver is tough. Devin Smith was the 37th pick. Dorial Green Beckham was the 40th pick. Devin Funchess was the 41st pick.
Carolina Panthers.
Like, wasn't Devin Funchess the the guy that just couldn't stay away from the buffet? Was that
He
Funches?
got it's not Funches. That's Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking
He
of. Played for
also with
Carolina
the
as well.
Carolina
Yeah.
Panthers.
Boy, oh boy. Now I scroll. I don't see another wide receiver. Don't see. There we go. Tyler Lockett, third round,
Good, solid.
69th pick. Jalen Strong was picked right after him. Chris Conley, Georgia wide receiver to the Chiefs. Wow. Sammy Coates, Ty Montgomery.
Ty for the Green Bay Packers. Ty
Yes.
Montgomery.
Jamison
Then he
Crowder.
played. Probably played more running back than he did wide receiver.
Justin Hardy. There's so many wide receivers. Vince Mayle, Mayle, that just it don't. There's just nothing like hitting on wide. Stephon Diggs, 5th round, Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh, that's a Pro Bowler, All Pro,
Yep,
and they just let him go. They traded him. Well, they traded him, right?
yep. Pick 146. Tony Lippett, J.J. Nelson, Kenny Bell. Nothing. Keith Mumphrey. But I mean, so
Why does it seem like nowadays this you can find wide receivers fairly easy?
I don't know if easy is the right word, but there's wide receivers there. I mean, like wide receivers and have multiple good seasons is tough. I think because how many we have last year that were good?
Zay Flowers,
Tank Dell,
Tank Dell, dude from at Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison had a nice season.
Quentin Johnson did
Puka
not.
Nacua,
Puka Nacua,
right?
very nice season.
Yes. And then after that, he had Jackson Smith and Jigma, who
yeah, okay season,
but
yeah,
he
okay
played in a 2 wide receiver, 2 tight end offense. So with Tyler,
with the backup for a lot of the season because what's him got hurt a little bit.
it was a slot
Got banged up.
receiver, and I mean he had Tyler Lockett and he had DK Metcalf on the same team. So you're third behind him in a two tight end set heavy offense.
Jalen Hyatt, okay season, not great.
Jalen Hyatt. Yeah, there's. Trying to think who else was in that draft. It's 2023. It was not a good wide receiver draft though. Not thought to be a good wide receiver draft last year.
There was that run on wide receivers though that was Quinn Johnson, and Jigba, Addison,
So
Zay Flowers.
Jackson Smith and Jigba went first at 20. Then Quentin Johnston at 21. Chargers. I guarantee the Chargers wish they could have that back. I knew that was a bad pick at the time. Zay Flowers at 22, who was my guy in the draft. 23, Jordan Addison. Like 4 receivers.
I would have taken Jordan Addison or Zay Flowers. And at this point in time, the Giants go, okay, we're trading back. I don't think. No, they go. Did they go DeAndre Baker next?
Deontay Banks next.
Deontay Banks, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they wanted a wide receiver. And when all of them went out the window, it's like, all right, I guess we'll go with the DB.
Yep. And then wide receivers, Panthers took Jonathan Mingo in the 2nd round, which is
just so that they could throw the ball to what's
Adam
the name?
Thielen.
100 Adam Thielen 140 times.
Here's the thing about Jonathan Mingo. I don't think he'll ever be good, but I will never forget. You know how like the NFL puts the clips from the draft room? They're like, oh, okay. And they showed Tepper calling Mingo to let him know. And it's like, we talked to Steve Smith. You know who he said to take? He said Mingo. And they just sits there silently for a minute. You know who Steve Smith is, right? That's the first thing he said. Jonathan Mingo. Poor guy. Jaden Reed. Yeah, hitting wide receivers tough, except for this year because there's like 3 that'll go in the first 10 picks. Maybe 3 in the first 8 picks.
Yes. I just need one of them. I just need one of them.
Now, let's see. 2024 NFL Draft. Oh, you know what we can do real fast? This will be fun.
What's that?
PFF. Let's do a mock draft.
I'm not very good at these
No,
because I don't know any of these players.
we'll only do our two teams, and we'll only do the first round. We'll see what PFF fills out for the rest. Because I want to see.
Well, you know who your number one is.
Yeah, but I also have number 9.
It's your number 9.
I also have number 9. Okay. Don't get
to
all
my
angry
picture?
at me.
Oh, you took my face out. You decided to take me out.
Oh, not intentionally.
I was like, what happened
I was
to
just
me?
mousing over the dang. All right, here we go. PFF, mock draft simulator. Cool. We're just gonna do the first round. Chicago and New York. Let's show the source. Twitter feed. There it is. Okay. Oh, I gotta change this up so we can see it. Nope. Do one round. We'll enter this draft. When we start the draft, I am going to safely choose Caleb Williams. And then we'll see what the PFF chooses for the other ones here. So we had Caleb Williams and Drake May going to the Commanders, Jaden Daniels to the Patriots, Rome Odunze going 4th to the Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. going 5th to the Chargers.
I'm taking Malik Neighbors. You know that's my pick.
You kind of have to.
That's my pick. Like even Nate show, like because they're talking about the Giants getting J.J. McCarthy at this pick. Like J.J. McCarthy, where do they even have him ranked? They scroll down a little bit.
Let's see. We can go quarterbacks. Ranked 28.
They have him 28. No, I'm not taking a flyer on that guy. No. Let someone else do it. You get Malik Neighbors.
You gotta take Malik Neighbors.
You got to.
Now, see, that's interesting. Giants take Malik Neighbors. Tennessee takes tackle Joe Alt. And then the Falcons take tackle Talise Fuaga from Oregon State. And if Joe Alt was there at 9 and the 3 wide receivers were gone, I'd have to take Joe Alt. I think I'd have to take Joe Alt there. Because he could be one of those like perennial Pro Bowl left tackles. Like, how would you not take that if it was available to you? The wide receivers aren't there, which just deflates me. I would hope that one of them would get there.
No, they better not drop them. Neither one of them.
I hope all 3 of them drop to number 9, and then the Bears have to choose, and then that way, where they choose one, everybody in Chicago can be like, they chose the wrong one. It doesn't matter. That leaves me with the possibility of Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia, who would be an interesting. He's supposed to be a really good pass catcher, but I think then, I think the Bears would have to take Byron Murphy out of Texas. He's a pass rusher, and that's who I'd take.
That's interesting.
And they don't have a pass rush, so like they have to get either a wide receiver there if one of the top 3 is there, or they have to take Joe Alt or Byron Murphy. Those are my things. You got an A+ for taking Malik Neighbors at 6.
Listen, if he, like I said, he's the smallest out of the wide receivers, but I'm still taking at 6 foot.
Yeah. So the thing about Neighbors is I think he's really, really, really good, but I think I think it's hard because like all of them are really good, and I think Rome Odunze might be the best of all of them. And when it's all said and done.
Like I said, if Marvin Harrison Jr. was to fall to us, I'd be happy. I'd take him.
Oh yeah, how could you not? Yeah,
I'd take him.
You had to take him.
Rome goes above Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm gonna be surprised. I will be surprised. I'm not gonna lie. He's been anointed. Like I said,
I've seen some mock drafts where he falls to 9. Marvin Harrison Jr.
9?
Yes. by professional.
To you?
No, not my drafts.
No, I'm talking about to the Bears.
To the Bears, yes.
Then that's got to be a trade because there are too many teams above them.
Yes.
Unless they're saying that nobody takes them, I could see if, let's say, you have the Giants picking a quarterback at that position.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Malik Neighbors higher, because I don't see a world where the Chargers don't pick a wide receiver.
The Chargers have so many needs.
But they have a franchise QB that they've already paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And they've taken all his weapons away from him.
Yep.
And gave him a new quarterback. You got to give him a weapon back.
So I almost expect the Chargers to do one of two things.
Mm-hmm.
Trade that pick back because they need picks.
A lot more.
They need more. Taking who's there from Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome or Adun or Neighbors isn't going to move the needle for them, I don't think. Because I think it's a very deep wide receiver draft, and I think they can find talent that's better than the talent they have now, which should not be hard, in the second and third round.
But yeah.
So if you're not going to take Joe Alt at 6 or 7 or wherever they're at, 5, then you got to trade that pick and let some of these quarterback crazy people go. All right. Do we want to let's look at which mock draft do we want to look at? Whose mock draft? We have Bucky Brooks just did one 11 hours ago for NFL.
Bucky Brooks is a Giants guy. I would like to see what I think he's a Giants fan.
Let's see what Bucky Brooks has to say.
He always writes positive things about the Giants.
And we'll just worry about the top of the draft. We only need to worry about the first 9 picks because luckily our teams were both pretty bad last year, so we were able to get there. Believe it or not, first pick he has going is Caleb Williams.
Oh, wow.
Second pick, he has the Commanders taking Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Third pick, he has the Patriots taking J.J. McCarthy.
He's moving up on boards.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, if Drake May is there and they don't take Drake May and they take J.J. McCarthy instead, I think it's a mistake. Then we have the Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr. for number 4.
Okay.
Then we have the Chargers taking Joe Alt at 5. Then we have the Giants taking Malik Neighbors at 6.
Malik Neighbors, they took. Oh, okay. He's got him taking Neighbors.
Yep. If the Giants remain committed to Daniel Jones, they must add more explosive playmakers to the lineup. Neighbors is a catch and run specialist who can score from anywhere on the field.
Yes, I like him.
Then
I like the height. Like I said, I'm a little stuck on the 6'2" thing, the prototypical big wide receiver. He's only 6 foot.
Yeah.
But he's still be taller than any wide receiver in our room.
Then the 7th pick, they have Tennessee Titans taking Oluwaseyi Fashanu out of Penn State. Olu Fashanu out of Penn State, offensive tackle. Then they have the Falcons taking Dallas Turner, edge rusher, and that's the person I was thinking of when we were doing the drafts earlier. And would I take the guy from Texas? That's wrong. No, Dallas Turner, edge from Alabama, for the Falcons, and then he has the Bears taking Rome Odunze at 9.
Wouldn't be a bad pick.
No, if you come out of that draft with Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, you've done very well. Would not be a bad pick. You've done very well for yourself.
Would not be a bad pick.
No. Let's see. Who else do we have? Oh, wait. That was on NFL.com. So who else do we have?
Why would they have... I'm trying to think of the J.J. McCarthy over Drake May.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
No, J.J. McCarthy is moving up on people's boards, and I don't know.
Drake May wasn't even picking in the top 9. And then you have the Jets with taking Brock Bowers in number 11.
They probably have him going to Minnesota.
Minnesota at 11, yeah.
Mm-hmm. If he's there for Minnesota at 11, Minnesota will be...
Oh, God, yeah.
Through the roof. Because they're probably trying to get up to move ahead of some of these other people to get the guy that they want. I don't know of too many teams that are high on the J.J. McCarthy thing, but I keep seeing his name go up.
Well, let's look at Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft 3.0, also for NFL.com. Him and Bucky Brooks do a show that's like the draft. They just do mock drafts,
All day.
pretty much. All right. So he has Caleb Williams going 1, Drake May going 2, Jaden Daniels going 3.
Okay.
Then he has Minnesota trading up with the Cardinals
I told you they have to go. They have to get JJ
to
McCarthy.
get JJ McCarthy. Yep.
They want a quarterback. We know that they want one, but I don't know why. The only way that the reason they would do that is fearful of the Broncos going ahead of them.
Yep. I think that's
Fear.
Yep.
Fear is about it. Just yeah.
Then at
I don't think you could let fear do that to you.
oh,
Like
have to.
if he was really your guy, then yes. But if you're doing it because he is the 4th best quarterback on the board, I don't think you do it for that.
Well, the only reason you do it is if you think that he's not the 4th best quarterback on the board. You think he's one of the top 2 quarterbacks on the board, and so you go after him.
I think you'd be wrong at that point in time.
Well, I mean,
I think you.
Hey, we're not talent evaluators.
We're not. But there's enough people out there who've said that he's not the top.
Every team's board is different. He feels like Zach Wilson redux.
Mm-hmm.
Then Daniel Jeremiah has at the 5th pick the Jets trading up with the Chargers to take Marvin Harrison Jr.
For 1 year, they don't have Rodgers for more than a year.
Well, yeah, but they'd have Marvin Harrison Jr. for 5 now, so you get another quarterback. And if you're going to get a rookie quarterback, what
Zach Wilson?
No, Zach Wilson's I think off the team or will be off the team.
Woody Johnson said, the owner said, Zach Wilson will be here if we can't trade him. Nobody wants him.
Well, yeah,
so
because, I mean,
he will be there.
It's just the idea that we're not going to pay the man to sit somewhere, right? So that's the only reason they'd keep him.
It doesn't even make sense.
And he's
not worth a 6th round, a 7th round. They got a 6th round for Fields. Get rid of him. Get him off your team.
That's the thing.
There's a risk. If he's on your team, there's a risk he may
He will play. Yes.
There's a risk he may play.
There's
you don't want
an
that.
inherent risk that he'll. But they have him trading up to take Marvin Harrison Jr. That leaves Malik Neighbors going to the Giants at 6, Joe Alt to the Titans at 7.
Still going to the Titans. Yep.
Dallas Turner going to the Falcons at 8.
Rome
and then Rome
Odunze still going
9 to the Bears. I love it. I'll take it. Take it every day of the week.
They got to get rid of that. Like those 3 got to go before. I don't need the Bears with Rome Odunze and
the Bears have the potential to be scary. Here's Lance Zierlein's draft. He did this on March 4th, so it's almost a month old. So,
So combine, he didn't even get to see the combine.
Grain of salt on this one. Caleb, Jaden, May. Neighbors to the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison to the Chargers.
JJ McCarthy to Giants.
No, wait. Do you want me to tell you what he has on here? Because here's a name we have not heard yet.
Michael Penix Jr.
J.C. Latham, offensive tackle from Alabama.
Get out of my face with
when
that.
Joe Alt is there and Olu Fashanu, then they have Joe Alt going to the Titans at 7, Jared Verse going to the Falcons at 8, the Broncos trading up with the Bears to get J.J. McCarthy, then Talisi Fuaga, the offensive tackle to the Jets, Dallas Turner to the Vikings, and then Rome Odunze at 12 to the Bears. It don't matter what happens, Rome Odunze goes to the Bears.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's a tough one right there.
Everything else on that thing was chalk. Pretty much chalk.
Okay, now I have to do this one because when this one happened, she was absolutely roasted for it. Cynthia Freeland is an analyst on NFL Network, and she's like the analytics person, right? She crunches the numbers, and all of her picks are based off of millions of simulations and blah, blah, blah. Here is her mock draft. She did this, and she prefaced it.
The only way she would get laughed out is if the Bears are not picking Caleb Williams.
Wait. This happened February 9th. She hasn't done one since. But this is like, based on the numbers, we crunched the numbers, blah, 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 blah. With the number 1 pick, the Chicago Bears select Joe Alt, offensive tackle from Notre Dame.
That
The Washington Commanders then select Caleb Williams, logically. Then the
yes.
Patriots take Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Cardinals, Terrion
Malik Neighbors.
Arnold to the Chargers, cornerback from Alabama. Now that granted, this is
See,
this before.
this is February. This is early. Y'all still have Justin Fields,
Yeah.
and the Chargers still have both their wide
Roma
receivers.
Dunze to the Giants, Olu
Okay, she's
Fashanu
smart.
to the Titans, Jaden Daniels to the Falcons at 8, and then Malik
Now
Neighbors
Malik Neighbors
to the Bears at 9. All right.
I don't like that either.
The Joe Alt thing, when it happened, like, if you want to make Bears fandom angry, just do stuff like that, right? Okay, so that's all that.
I will tell you this: if you were thinking about taking Joe Alt, trade the pick.
Yes.
If you were thinking,
Yes, exactly.
If you were thinking about taking Joe Alt, trade the pick.
All right. So now we got to do this. We got to go to ESPN. Where are their mock drafts? Let's see. Who is this? Mike Tannenbaum from ESPN.
He used to be the Jets general manager.
Well, let's see what he has to say. Do I have
Don't trust anything Mike Tannenbaum
Okay, I
says.
don't have
He
to
does
log
not
in to
pick
do
very
this.
well.
Okay, so number 1 pick, Caleb Williams. Number 2 pick, Drake May. Number 3 pick, Jaden Daniels. Number 4 pick, the Cardinals select from the University of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy. The Cardinals do that.
Okay.
Look,
So Felix now immediately calls it going for Kyler.
yes.
Immediately.
So it says here, look, quarterback availability is crucial in today's NFL. 66 passers started at least one game last season, and Kyler Murray hasn't played a full season since 2020. I really like McCarthy's long-term upside. The 21-year-old averaged 9 yards per attempt and completed blah, blah, blah. You might point to Murray's contract, but teams routinely eat substantial dead money these days for a better opportunity at the position. Besides, I think... What?
This is why you don't trust the guy who used to be the general manager for the Jets.
Yes.
So you can just...
Then, at 5, the Chargers select Joe Alt from Notre Dame. No wide receiver.
How long ago was this?
14 hours ago.
Okay, he's trying to get on a contrarian. He needs to get on TV.
Yes. Then the Giants with the 6th pick select Malik Neighbors out of LSU.
Okay. Wide receiver is the pick. As long as everyone knows that wide receiver is the pick there.
Pick 7, the Titans select J.C. Latham, offensive tackle from Alabama.
Did Joe Alt go off the board yet?
Yeah, Joe Alt went to the Chargers. Alt,
Okay.
Neighbors, Latham. 8th pick, the Falcons select Dallas Turner, edge, Alabama.
Mm.
The 9th pick, the Chicago Bears
Roman Dunze.
select Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Wait.
Is that the
What was the first wide receiver off the board?
Neighbors?
We took Malik Neighbors as the first wide receiver off the board.
Yes,
That's what he
at 6.
said.
Yeah, because the Cardinals took J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there's no world where I don't see the Cardinals. Sure, if they want to pick something and do something dumb or do something else, if they want to go get Joe Alt, they want to get a tackle. Sure, I see it. But there's no place that I don't see the Chargers taking a wide receiver. There's no world I don't see it.
Yeah, I still think they'll trade out of that pick. I really think there'll be a wide receiver and Joe Alt possibly available at 9. And it's gonna be hard not to take Joe Alt. It really is, in my opinion. Oh God, I don't want to have to log in, but I will if I.
Not when you have you got Herbert there. He's under contract.
Yes, he is.
You need to pair him with if you think that you can get a wide receiver that's as good as those other 3 later on, I don't see it. There's Xavier Worthy is out there. Maybe you can get him, and he ran the fastest, but I don't. And he was pretty decent with the with UT last year. Like I said, I've got to go with UT guys. Those are the only guys I see being where I'm at. But he's fast, and you probably get him 2nd round.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where do they have him? Xavier Worthy.
There's a lot of good
Uh,
receivers. I think there'll be 4 or 5 receivers taken in the first round. You got the big three, and then you got the other guy, Thomas from LSU. He'll probably go. And then I think you got guys like Lad McConkey might go. I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity there for wide receivers. Let's see what does Mel Kiper say 8 days ago.
that was the draft we did, isn't it? That's the one we did.
Did we talk about that last week? We probably did.
I don't know. Yeah.
Caleb, Jaden, Drake. Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors to the Chargers, Roma Dunze to the Giants. All the wide receivers are off the board, not the top 3 wide receivers. Then you have Joe Alt, Dallas Turner, and then the Bears select Jared Verse.
We did look at this one. I was like, did we do Lance Zierlein? You did. And that's why I'm pissed off at him. This stupid JC Latham.
I'm going to tell you what, if the Bears get to 9 and the 3 wide receivers are off the board, Joe Alt's off the board, and Dallas Turner's off the board, they may trade that pick to a quarterback hungry team.
Minnesota.
Like, yeah. Minnesota pays premium because it's BN conference or in division to the Broncos or the Raiders or whoever. And then I don't know what you do after that. I'll be a sad boy if the Bears get the 9 and all of the four options are all gone.
They have I'm looking at his mock draft, Zierlein or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Past the top 3, the next 2 are both the Texas Longhorns wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Adonai Mitchell.
Yep.
And
that's the dude that ran like
Xavier
a 4.26
Worthy
or whatever.
Yeah, he ran a that they have on the shows. He ran a 4.34.
4.34, that's what it was.
Whereas Xavier Worthy going to the Kansas City Chiefs, they have him ran a 4.21.
Yeah.
4.21.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
You're right. Oh boy.
What is he's an idiot. Like, I'm not an idiot. Like, I keep watching this Zierlein dude. He just keeps picking offensive tackles for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
This time it was Fuagua, or whatever his name is. That was it was Mach 1. Get out of here. You're dumb. You're dumb, sir. I don't get it.
Oh.
Who is Ed Holm? Oh, that was a February 2 pick. I don't care about a draft that far out.
All right, so The Athletic has a mock draft done by Ben Standing. I don't know who that is, but it came out yesterday. Bears take Caleb. Commanders take Jaden. Patriots take J.J. McCarthy. Vikings trade up to 4 and take Drake May. Chargers then take Marvin Harrison Jr. Giants then take Malik Neighbors. Titans, Joe Alt. Falcons, Dallas Turner. And then the Cardinals trade up with the Bears to take Roma Dunze. I do not see a world in which the Bears do not take Roma Dunze if he's there. Then the Jets take Fuaga.
Wait, how many picks do the Chargers do the
Cardinals traded down with the Vikings, so the Vikings could trade to take.
So
Drake
they go
May.
to 12. So they go to 12,
and then
probably get a number 2 or something else. They probably
get
a
a lot more than that.
Yeah, 2 first rounders probably.
And then the Cardinals trade up from 11 to 9 with the Bears, and the Bears take.
Oh, the Vikings have all those picks.
Yeah, the Vikings have multiple first.
They have 2 first round picks. Yeah. They have 2 first rounders this year.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it. They got to be in position to move.
Yeah, I mean that's why they would do it, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't say like what they would trade to get from 11 to 9. I mean, if the Bears are at 9 and Roma Dunze is there, and they trade out of that pick, that makes me sad. But there's got to be a reason for it. I don't know what it would be.
You'd have to give me to move up there. You're not giving me much. Maybe a second rounder. We trade picks.
Yeah.
You're not going to give up. If you were the Vikings, No, who would have moved up there? So the Vikings to get to 4 with the Cardinals would have to give them their 12. And my guess is whatever other pick they have in the first
So
round.
his proposed trade is the Vikings get 4, 138, and 162, and the Cardinals get 11, 23, 108, and next year's first rounder. Next year's Vikings first round pick.
So they get 2 first rounders
Yes.
this year and 1 next year?
Yes.
That's a lot to move up to 4th.
But it's for a quarterback, right? Quarterback premium. It's like quarterback tax. Then
That's a lot.
Oh, and then so for the Bears to drop down to 11, get the 11th and the 71st pick to pass on Roma Dunze. I just don't see that being a thing.
A 71st pick? A 3rd rounder?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. All right, Athletic, you've...
You know what grinds my gears when guys make stupid picks like that.
Your $1 a month you get from me is going to be canceled now. We haven't talked about anything that has happened in the NFL. And they just
it's been light.
They just made all the rule changes today.
They did make the rule changes.
They got rid of the hip drop tackle. They banned that, so there's been lots of flags and fines for things that are referees can't even correctly call pass interference and or roughing the passer consistently. So now they got to do this one too. Difficult.
So I'm just trying to think about, since I've been watching football, let's just say last 10, 20 years, let's say 20, I've seen the horse collar tackle go away.
Yes.
I perfectly agree with that.
Yep.
We have seen you can't crawl at a quarterback at their knees, or we have seen you can't touch a quarterback on the head.
Like even just tap a helmet.
You can't tap them.
Yeah.
You can't touch above the neck.
Finger. No.
Nope, not gonna happen. What else have we seen as far as rules that the defense now has to take in consideration?
Well,
in those 20 years though, defense does now, they did get rid of the play where you couldn't forcibly push someone out of bounds, which I would have thought you see a whole lot more of that. Me picking you up and pushing you out of bounds.
Yeah.
Right? But we haven't seen that. I thought that'd be more prevalent in today's game.
Yeah.
Because that was the reason the rule was there. You can't do stuff like that. So we've seen a lot of deep rules, but I think the defense just constantly gets punished over and over and over.
Yes.
No leading, no spearing. Well, leading with the helmet.
Yep.
I get it, with the crown of the helmet. So no launching yourself. No launching. That's different. That's different.
Yep.
It's a lot. It's a lot that they can't do.
Yeah. And like they've changed some rules about blocking. Like offensive linemen can't do, what was it, crack blocks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
where someone is already engaged in a block, someone can't come over and hit them.
Yeah, but it really, the swivel hip drop, I saw the video the NFL showed of what they call the swivel hip drop tackle. Of every tackle on there, I was like, yeah, that's how you tackle. Like I don't even know what to even look for. And I guess it's just me being dumb. And I know what the definition is. It's like you can't engage, launch yourself off the ground, remove your feet from the ground, and then fall on the back of them. Fall on the back.
Is that it?
Yes.
Because I have it as like you can't grab them and then drop to the ground. So like if I'm diving at you, I'm not putting my body weight, or I'm not dropping my weight on you. I'm leaning forward at you versus dropping. That's the way I looked at it. Because I saw a lot of people talking about the DK Metcalf chase down being a penalty. But when I looked at it again, DK doesn't grab his weight and drop. DK has to fully dive at him, grab his waist, and that's the momentum that pulls him down. So all those other players that look like sliding tackles where they go in at the waist and then just drop all their weight down, usually on your body.
So here's the definition. First, the defensive player grabs the runner with both hands or wraps the runner with both arms.
Yes.
Second, the defensive player unweights himself by
Yes.
swiveling and dropping his hips and or lower body.
Yeah. That's why I didn't think the DK Metcalf was one, because he doesn't grab him. He dives at him to grab him, so he can't drop his weight once he's wrapped around his hips. He's at him, and then it's basically like a diving tackle versus what the other people are using it as.
And then the third part of that is you have to land on and trap the runner's legs at or below the knee.
That's impossible for me to judge.
Exactly.
It's all about how you fall. Like, that's impossible for me to do.
So it's going
to... I know they showed that one play with the Seattle Seahawks wanted to absolutely fight the Giants because it did look like a bad tackle. It was the same hip tackle that they did on Geno Smith. Geno got taken out the game for a little bit, but Geno was already going out of bounds, and he kind of grabbed them and just sat on him. It was a bad tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And those I get. Those are egregious. Like the ones that they showed in that video were egregious, right?
Some of them were just plays. It was really hard for me to determine what was good and what wasn't, and I'm being real honest on that. Let's see. Here is the DK Metcalf play.
Mm-hmm. Which I can watch all day, every day.
Yes.
That and beast mode.
DK Metcalf.
See, here he goes.
Runs him down.
And he dives right here. See? That's why I don't think it's going to count as the drop, because he's launching at him right there.
Okay, so I guess it's the wrap came after the launch, but that's hard.
But he still can't control where he lands at. He's going to land on the back of his leg because
Yes.
he tackled him from behind. That's going to happen. That's why I'm like, I don't understand why that is a thing, because I can't take in consideration how he falls the way I tackle.
We just need to appreciate this real fast, because DK Metcalf is at the 7.
Yes.
And he looks like he's about 10.
About 5 yards. Maybe 7
might be about
yards.
7-8 yards vertical or diagonal away from, and Budda Baker is at the 12. Budda Baker is a 5-yard on the Z-axis, but then also 7 yards on the X. So we're looking at like 30 feet away from him roughly. Maybe 25. That's a 3-pointer. That's more than a 3-pointer away, right?
He looks, yeah.
And then there's a point. Oh, man, we're at the 12.
He's walking him down already.
12
He's
and
already
22.
he's already getting some distance. This one,
27, 32.
That guy slows him down. That guy who's in front of him, because that was the angle DK wanted to take.
Yeah.
And he made him take a wider angle to get to him now.
Now we're at 40 and 44.
Mm-hmm.
40,
now he's like,
40 and 36. Oh my gosh, the 30, the 29 and the 26. Oh my god.
Now he's like, I got to step for him? Oh no.
Oh, what a play. That is one of the greatest plays in football history, I think.
What's also great about that, Seattle then holds him to a field goal.
Yep.
That makes that play so much. Listen,
and we gotta do the beast mode run real fast.
I could watch that all day long.
I have watched all day long once. And then you have Marshawn Lynch, handoff. No. Stiff arm. Oh, throws the man. Nope. He got touched by all 11 players.
Yes.
At least once.
Yes. And to be honest, none of them had a good chance of getting him down.
No.
Not one of them.
96 maybe never touches him. But look at what he runs into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his own guys.
Mm-hmm. 3 of theirs.
And he says, nah, he should have been down.
Yep. 92 gets him.
Here's 96 still back here. He's not going to get him.
Uh-huh.
92 touches him. 48 touches him. 33 touches him. 22.
So he doesn't want to touch
thrown.
him. He didn't want
wait,
to
is that
touch
there's
him.
96 right there? 96 does touch him.
That's everyone.
Everybody on the team touched him once. Oh my God, what a play. What an amazing run.
Oh, to win the game too. That's
And
hurts
not
the
just a
most.
game. That was a playoff game.
There's the playoffs. There's the playoffs.
That was a walk-off, just insanity. Because it was overtime, wasn't it?
Either that or it was the fourth quarter, but yes, it might have been overtime.
What an amazing.
That started the run of bad luck for the Saints.
Yeah, it did.
There's that one. There's that. Oh, I didn't want to call the defensive pass interference, so I let up. And the dude from Minnesota runs in for a touchdown.
The Minneapolis Miracle. It was the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left.
Oh yeah,
and they went up by 11 with that score right there. 12 with the extra point. Oh my God, I remember when it happened live. Oh, what an amazing play!
It was one of the best. One of the best,
without a doubt.
The other rule change goes, which is the one I'm happy for. That special kickoff.
The
kickoff rule.
Yes.
It's a little crazy trying to wrap your head around everything.
It is a little bit, but I have a graph here. I'll share it with you.
The kicker still stands lonely at the 35 by himself.
Yes. So
yes, I saw that one.
The kicker kicks off from 35
by himself.
Now, the thing I think that's interesting is kicking into the end zone is an automatic touchback unless it's caught and carried out.
Yes, touchback to the 30.
Touchback to the 30, right? Which is huge. It was originally 25, but if you kick it in the end zone, if it bounces into the end zone, it only goes back to the 20 if you down it in the end zone, right? So you have to catch it to this 20-yard landing zone between the goal line and the 20, and then you return it. If it goes out of bounds, it still goes to the 40, like current rules. I think there's some other situation where it goes to 40 as well.
3 field goals now after a touchback is a field goal.
3
first downs, I mean.
Yes.
That's it. That's 3 first downs. You're in field goal territory.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. So the kicker starts at 35. You have 2 guys receiving back, and then the kicking team has 10 guys lined up on the 40. And 2, 4.
You can have a 9 or 10 because they say you have to have 2 guys. Only 2 guys can get the return. So I don't know if you have to have 2 guys back there.
I don't know.
Because if you don't, it's man on man, right? And that seems like a very beneficial move.
Yes. But
why wouldn't at that point in time, why wouldn't I get my offensive line out there?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't I get a bunch of big humans out there to block?
Well, here's the
instead
thing,
of the special teams.
They don't line up like they're on the line of scrimmage, though. They're 5 yards apart.
Yes.
So let's say you have 2 back and 9 up blockers, and then you have 10 defensive guys and 1 kicker. Those 10 guys, they don't all have to just run. They can be doing whatever kind of crazy formation they want to do.
But it's also like, I'm not waiting for you to kick to tackle. Once that ball is kicked, my 9 is going to run after
they can't move until the ball's caught.
Oh, neither team?
Neither team.
Oh my God. Do you know what the kickoff how could you not get the ball to at least the 25 every time?
You would hope.
Because unless they're constantly pinning you down at the 1, but even then, that's your option. Because if the ball is caught at the 1, you could let it bounce into the back of the end zone technically
and then you get it at the 20.
At the 20, you're right, because it's bounced inside. Yeah, no, this is a win-win for everything.
I think it's really cool, and they're only doing it for a 1-year trial. But I think it allows the special teams to come up with like cool returns. Like there
Yep.
might be, who knows what, I don't know what you're able to do here. And it also makes a returner more running back like because you're not just burning, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be a little more finding the hole, and I don't know. It'll be interesting.
It will. It feels like it's gonna be. You're gonna have to have played more zone than you did it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you're gonna have to play. You there's no safety back there unless you drop a man back there just to cover. Because if he gets past that wall, your kicker is not catching him.
Mm-mm.
He is not catching him.
You need
Lone
you need
guy,
DK
he's
Metcalf
not
out
catching
there
him.
for every kickoff.
It's almost unfair to the kicking team now. I would tell, but even I can't even tell my guy to boot it at the back of the end zone because the 30 is a huge
30
advantage.
is a huge advantage. So I think it'll be fun to see what happens because we have no idea. Like,
But it's without the advantage that the kicking team had by being able to chase down the ball.
mhm.
Like now it's man on man. And the guy with the ball, the only open guy who doesn't have a man, the two is the kicker and the guy with the ball. Everyone else should be man on man, right? So I don't know.
All right.
So what do you put?
It's based off the XFL kickoff, right?
Yes.
Well, here is the XFL's kickoff. I have no idea what this video is going to look like. Caught, run.
He decided to just run right into the crowd.
Apparently so.
Okay.
Now here is somebody saying the worst changes to football, the XFL kickoff. There's got to be both XFL kickoff returns for touchdowns. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, come on, no ads.
You got 3 seconds. There you go.
Nice.
You can skip it.
Kickoff.
Yeah, and they only have one guy back there.
Yep.
Yep, that's the plays. That's the stuff I'm expecting to see.
Like the reverse pitch there. Oh, look at him go.
Yeah.
Now, remember, this is the XFL. So these are the guys that just aren't good enough to be in the NFL. They're not even good enough to be special teamers in the NFL, right? So
Uh-huh.
the quality of the special teamer is going to be higher in the NFL too. It'll be interesting.
Yep. I got to see what the other guys did
Yeah, I
because
know.
that seems like what you would do. Oh, man. It's the same
Oh,
play.
nope.
Nope.
He just hits a hole and he's gone.
That's what I'm trying to say. Wait, and look, that's the kicker on his back.
Yep. There's a guy who almost had a chance.
Yeah. I'm expecting that a lot. Like people doing good plays because now you can be creative.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like there's an opportunity there to scheme up kick returns that are more than just wedge left, wedge right, wedge center.
And then you got to start realizing maybe I just need to take the 30.
Yeah.
The 30 yards is to discourage you from doing it
Yeah.
because 3 first downs is a field goal. But if every time they kick it, it's a home run, I'm gonna kick it in the back of the end zone. If it comes down that we find out that there is a Devin Hester guy that is dangerous to kick the ball to,
yeah,
I'll take the 30 yards every day of the week.
Yeah. Like if a team has a returner that gets them to the 50 like every time
Consistently.
Yeah. Then just do the 30. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. I just don't see a reason to do it. But if they could make kicking interesting again,
yes,
that would be fun.
It was a record low number of kick returns last year.
Yeah, and I guess I see what they're trying to eliminate it because it's a dangerous part of the game. I get it, but if you just do football rules, just have it start at the 25.
Yeah,
like stop kicking the ball off. Kickers still had jobs. The place kicker's still going to kick the ball for field
Yep.
goals, right? And the punter is still going to punt the ball. Those jobs aren't going away. But that'd just be one part of the one part that is going away are those special teamers. But the special teamers are still going to be on punt return.
Yeah.
It's the gunners. It's some of the positions you lose. But for the most part, if you just did away with the kickoff, it's boring because that first part of football, only the first kickoff. The first kickoff is interesting when all the lights are flashing
Yeah.
and everyone's happy about the kickoff. After that, we don't ever need to see another kickoff
Yeah.
again.
Think of all the times you've played video game football and you wish you could just skip the kickoff. It's like, I don't care about the coin toss. I don't care about the kickoff. Just give me the ball. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I am intrigued and I'm cautiously optimistic that it'll be a positive change to the to that. I just think that with both of these changes that are happening, with that and with the hip drop thing, we're going to see outrageous scores.
Last year, scoring was down.
I know, and I think that's what some of this is in reaction to. I think it's going to be outrageous scores this year because, God, people are just going to get run over because they're afraid to tackle. Like when you think about it, if you got not first rounders out there and not contract guys out there that could get fined in excess of their paycheck, in excess of a game check, doing a hip drop tackle, they're not going to do anything that could possibly be mistaken for one. There's going to be a lot of dropping the shoulder, trying to knock people over tackles, and a lot.
Not going to work at the professional level.
No, well, yeah. Talk to the Bears secondary. Talk to Eddie Jackson. That dude was afraid to wrap up a guy if I've ever seen one. He always dropped the shoulder. Yeah, it's just going to be a lot of people.
They can't dive at them.
Can't dive
so
at
they
them.
Can't spear at them.
A lot of people just Ole, letting them run through with red.
The only thing you could do is gang tackle, hold him up, and wait for your teammates to get there.
Or you can hope that all 11 defenders can tackle like Ray Lewis. And if they can, good luck, but it's not happening.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be tough for the defenders, and I like defense.
I do too.
I'm a fan of it. I prefer that versus I like quarterbacks getting punched in the mouth. I don't know.
Do you remember the segment they used to have on ESPN on like Saturday night? They'd have what was that guy's name? Oh God, it was him and Boomer. He used to play for the Broncos.
Eddie Jackson. What's his name?
I can't remember his name. He passed away though a handful of years ago. You know what I'm talking about. But he had a segment. It was you got jacked up, and they would show the hits that are all illegal now in the NFL, and just dudes getting killed, and it was just he got jacked up, and they'd all be screaming. Do you remember that segment?
Yep.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
To find the guy's name who was they still don't have his name. Why can't I? But I think it was Jackson's.
ESPN got jacked up.
I could find the week 4.
It was what was his name?
I'm trying to find let's see.
Jacked Up was quietly canceled by ESPN following the 2006 NFL season in the wake of concussion studies that showed a correlation with violent football collisions and CTE. It was on Monday Night Countdown. It was... Oh, God, those are all who's currently on it. RG3. What was his name? Chris Mortensen, Sal Palantonio, Tom Jackson.
Tom Jackson, that was his name. I knew it was Jackson. I couldn't think of the.
Yep. All right. So one last thing, and I've been dying to talk about it all day. The Bears are going to play the Texans in the Hall of Fame game this year. Right. So August 1st, the first preseason football of the season. Let me find the thing that I need to say.
They played on that high school field that's always in horrible condition.
Yes, that's what they do. That's what they do. Now, the Bears don't play in the Hall of Fame game very often, but one reason they are this year is because there are 3 Hall of Famers being inducted that played portions of their career on the Bears, if not all of their careers, or 90% of their careers. So the Bears, Steve McMichael, Devin Hester, and Julius Peppers, right? They're all going into the Hall this year. So the Bears are playing the Texans. But the last time they played in the Hall of Fame game, it was in 2018, and the Bears went 12-4 and were division champions. The time they played previously in the Hall of Fame game was 2005. They went 11-5 and were division champions. And the time they previously played in the Hall of Fame game was 1990. They went 11-5 and were division champions. The last 3 times the Bears have played the Hall of Fame game, they have gone to the playoffs.
Okay.
And the Bears are playing in the Hall of Fame game this year. And it's a little bit too early to pick them.
Oh,
but I'm pretty sure the natural progression is Super Bowl victory.
They will not be division champions. They will not be.
I don't know.
I will give them better than the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
Because the Minnesota Vikings, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I don't want to discuss it right now because it's late. We've been going. But there is an opportunity, and maybe we'll just end on this, that the Bears go undefeated this year.
There's an opportunity. You're right.
There are 17 games, and none have been lost yet. There is an opportunity for the Bears to go undefeated this season.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it, but there's an opportunity.
It exists, and the last 3 times they've gone to
the Hall of Fame game is the litmus.
They have won the division and gone to the playoffs. And if you go to like the last 5 times they've played in it, they've made the playoffs every year.
What about the Pittsburgh Steelers, though?
I don't know.
Who will you see in that game?
The Texans.
The Texans. Okay, I don't know why I still had the Steelers in that game. Because I was about to say, if they played the Steelers, Fields got to start it because they're not going to start there.
It's just a preseason game. Who cares? But I just know the fact that they're going there is the precursor to a great season. Just saying.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm. History
first before I bet what I bet y'all did when y'all had those good seasons. Still lost 2 games to the Packers.
It's possible, yeah. It's possible.
I bet on all those seasons, you still didn't have some big seasons against the Packers.
It's very possible. Well, those could also. Now, here's the thing: the Bears don't. It's not like they had sustained success. They didn't go to the Hall of Fame game every year. They went once, right? So those were always the years where the Packers would have off seasons, and the Bears might win 1 out of 2. They'd split. They'd win at home or something like that against the Packers. But it'll hit.
Have we talked? What's the lifetime? How many more wins do the Packers have against the Bears? Lifetime matchup.
In the matchup.
The matchup since forever.
Shoot. Like not total wins since forever, but total wins versus one another.
Yes.
Good. Green Bay versus Chicago record.
There goes all-time record.
It's not good because remember we went over this.
No, it's not that bad. There have been as of January 7, 2024, there have been 208 games between the 2 teams, most in NFL history. Green Bay has won 107 games. Chicago has won 95 games,
but
and there's
of
been
those
6
107 games, a quarter of them came in the last 40.
Listen, all I said was the whole. I
like
wanted to make
30. I mean, it's not good.
The largest margin of victory was a 61-7 Bears win in 1980.
I see that.
It's a solid win, sir.
Yeah, it hasn't been good for the last 30 years in regards to that. Chicago Bears versus Green Bay Packers, the results. Last year.
Oh my God, it's been bad.
Yes.
So the 80s, it was close.
Yeah.
The 90s, 13-7 Packers. The 2000s, 12-8 Packers. The 2010s, 17-4.
Yeah, we've already discussed all this.
Did we discuss in the 2020s in this You haven't beaten them?
No, we haven't discussed that
8-0?
specifically. I think we just said since Brett Favre came along, the Packers are like 30-3 against the Bears or something like that.
Since 2020, you have not beaten them.
Yeah, I know.
That's not good.
So yeah, so since 2020, since 2020, Packers won 41-25, Packers won 35-16, Packers won 24-14, Packers won 45-30, Packers won 27-10, Packers won 28-19, Packers won 38-20, Packers won 17-9. Yeah, I know, I get it. Thanks. The last time, do you know when the last time the Bears beat the Packers was?
No. Oh, I can see it though.
It was December 16th of 2018. 2018.
Oh, that's the year that they went to
They had the Hall of Fame game.
The Hall of Fame.
They only won one game. See, they won at home. They split at home. Home and away. So they won 24-17 at home, lost 24-23 on the road. That's a tough loss right there.
Now I have to see Giants versus Cowboys because I know it's not good.
But then the time before that was in 2015. And the time before that was in
3 years in between wins?
Yes. The time before that was 2013. The time before that was 2010. And then they had one in 2008. Then they had two wins. They swept the series, the Bears did, in 2007.
That wasn't what's the name year. That wasn't a Hall of Fame year.
Nope, they swept the series in 2005. That was a Hall of Fame game season.
Yep.
And they even shut them out once, 26-0, in Green Bay.
Oof. I'm surprised that Chicago didn't have a fire that riot in the streets.
Yeah, so there was a stretch there from 2004 where they won 1, 2, 3, 4.
So this is why you don't laugh at people.
7.
Because when you laugh at people without checking your own record, the 2020s, the Giants versus the Cowboys, we've only beaten them one time. There's only been one decade on record that we have beaten the Cowboys more times than they beat us. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
the 1980s was a tie. We won 9, they won 9. The 90s, 12-8. The 2000s, 13-8. 2010, 13-7. 2020s, 7-1. We beat them one time.
Yeah.
And I don't see too many more wins in our future.
Not immediate future, but Dak Prescott, they are not going to renegotiate his contract. They're going to eat $90 million in dead cap after next season, and Dak Prescott will not be a Cowboy after next season.
You don't think so?
I do not think so.
That'd be crazy.
It would be.
If that's the case, then there's no way that Jerry Jones could want to see a championship in his lifetime.
It's not good.
There's no reason to play hardball with Dak at this point in time. The Cowboys, you're all in. You're all in. You have to do this now. You have to sign Dak to be smart. It's just, at this point in time, it's just smart football. We're not asking you to do something that the smart move is sign Dak and get the rest of those players like Micah Parsons signed. Because let's be real. If you're Micah and you see that your quarterback is gone and the quarterback you're going to put in there is Trey Lance, or we don't know who they have. It's an unknown.
What if the Cowboys draft a quarterback this year? What if they take a second round flyer on like Bo Nix
or Michael Penix Jr. or something
like that? Yeah,
they'd have to. They honestly would have to. If their plan is not to sign Dak, then that's it.
Yeah.
And to have a plan to not sign Dak, to me, is just dumb. Because you're saying that no matter what he does, no matter the season he has, you're not signing him. Because let's say he goes out there, doesn't win a championship, but is the MVP of the league, the best quarterback, the best player of the league. Are you not going to sign him?
I mean, they
You
could
just
franchise him, I guess.
that's still gonna cost you $50 million.
Plus the 92 dead cap they'd have to eat from restructuring. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're not going to if they're not going to extend him now, they're not going to franchise him, and he's going to walk.
Then you trade him. You have to trade him.
But I think if they trade him, it's even more dead cap.
You can't trade him before the season. You got to trade him at the deadline. Like you just it doesn't make sense. I can't even talk because that does not
It's going to
make
happen.
sense.
Book it.
They have to resign. They have to. Maybe they're waiting. It's going to be an announcement that they do during preseason. They have to. There's no. They have to.
What did Jerry Jones say today? He said that he is aware. Let me find the quote.
They're just playing hardball with Dak but the ball's in his court. They can't.
The Cowboys and Dak Prescott have a mutual understanding of his contract situation, sources say, with no offers from Dallas, despite him being in a contract year. Owner Jerry Jones says, "We are where we are, locked and loaded for this year. No indication a deal is coming."
That's so short-sighted. It's not even funny.
Get ready. Get ready for Dak Prescott on who knows what team. There's lots of teams. The Jets.
He can go anywhere. He'd be the most sought-after free agent.
Yeah, he would be. He'll be on the Jets. Get ready for it.
Listen, the Giants might be looking for a quarterback.
Might be on the Giants. until they draft J.J. McCarthy this year at number 6.
No.
I asked you about that several weeks ago, and you said they better not.
They still better not draft J.J. McCarthy.
You never know. Just saying.
I just can't fathom the Cowboys being this dumb.
Maybe Jerry Jones is playing 5-dimensional chess.
Only he knows the rules to that game,
yes.
though. Apparently, only he knows the rules.
He's snickering to himself right now in a dark room, getting a hand job from some delivery person. That's what I'm guessing. Like his Postmates driver's giving him a hand job because he's Jerry Jones. That's what I picture, and he's saying that.
There's no way they can do that.
5D chess.
I don't care how much. He's the GM of the team. I'm like, because if I'm the GM of the team, I'm like, I can't operate like this. Like, we have no cap space. Like, I can't get anybody.
Can't do anything.
How can I make a team better?
Can't.
With nothing.
Can't.
You're relying heavily on McCarthy. Like, you're saying, okay, do more with exactly what you had last year.
It's not even exactly what you had. It's less than what you had last year.
You don't have your defensive coordinator. That hurts.
Yup.
They don't have their running. Who's running the ball for them? They have to pick a wide running back.
You think
right?
so?
They have to. They don't
even. They only have one wide receiver because they let what's his face go.
Who they let go?
Gallup.
They let Gallup go, but they still have Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks and
CeeDee Lamb, and that's it.
CeeDee Lamb.
I guess Jalen Tolbert is there. I think still.
Ferguson is their tight end, I think.
Yeah, and they also drafted Schoonmaker or whatever last year.
Yeah.
They don't have a running back. Yeah, their line is a little bit decimated.
They let Tyron Smith go.
Yep.
Well,
they got to figure out how to sign Micah Parsons as well.
And CeeDee
Lamb. And I don't understand how you can have that many huge contracts on the books. You just can't. There's just too many. Like, you can have...
They still have DeMarcus Lawrence that apparently his contract is probably going to be up soon.
Oh, man, I got to look at it. Cowboys salary cap, because... Oh, God. Let's see.
Their big money is probably in one of their offensive linemen and DeMarcus Lawrence and Dak Prescott.
Yep. Dak Prescott this season is a $55 million cap hit. DeMarcus Lawrence is a $20 million cap hit. CeeDee Lamb's an $18 million cap hit. Zach Martin is a $15.5 million cap hit. Trayvon Diggs is a $15 million cap hit. Michael Gallup, who was released, is a $4.5 million dead cap hit. I don't even know who some of these guys are. Terrence Steele, $11 million.
Offensive lineman.
Yeah. Brandon Cooks is $10 million. Micah Parsons still is. This is his 5th year. Micah Parsons. No, this is his 4th year because he's the same year as Justin Fields. So they're still getting by off of the only $5 million Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a $5 million Trey Lance.
How? But so this is CeeDee Lamb's last year of his contract, right?
Yes.
This is the 5th year option,
Yes.
which cost him $18 million.
Yep.
Meaning next year they either franchise him, not smart for a wide receiver.
Mm-mm. No.
They sign him long term.
Yes.
And then they let Micah go on his 5th year. They don't sign Micah?
Well, they do the 5th year extension on Micah Parsons.
Yeah, he's gonna want to get paid.
Well, yeah, but he's still going to play on the 5th year extension, or 5th year option.
It'll be but he's gonna want an extension. He's gonna
Of
course
he would.
he's gonna
I don't know why he wouldn't want one right now, right? So
yeah.
they're.
But why would I want to stay on that team knowing that we don't have a quarterback?
Mm-mm.
They're relying too heavily on 1 year. That's just not sound. You got a plan.
Yeah. Do you want to know what kind of cap hit Dak Prescott is next year?
65.
He's just a $40 million cap hit next year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
30
probably the next year. He's it's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, and he's $14 million. He's just dead money the next year at $14 million, and then $2 million the year after that, and then $1 million the year after that. So he's got dead cap going all the way up to 2028, but he's only on contract through 2024.
You gotta extend them. You have to.
I guess. I mean, you would think, but they're just not. I think he's done.
Yep.
I think he's going to be a New York Jet next year.
The Jets, they make me laugh because I feel like they half do it the right way and half do it the wrong way.
Always, yeah.
Right. Like, so they start off with good draft picks because they occasionally they draft so high they got to hit. Right. So they hit on Wilson and they hit on what is it, Brees?
Brees.
Sauce, yeah, Brees,
even
Wilson.
Q. I mean, but they had extended Q last year, Quinn Williams. So I mean, like they have lots of good talent.
They usually wind up not keeping them past. They're doing what the Giants do now. They usually don't keep them past their first contract.
Yeah,
but they haven't had a quarterback. Can't get a quarterback.
Nope.
Been having horrible luck with quarterbacks. So what have they been doing? Getting rental quarterbacks from other teams.
Well, I mean,
Favre, Flacco, Aaron Rodgers. Like that's what they do. And then they get in between there. They try to draft a quarterback. Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold. Doesn't work.
Zach Wilson, because he was the second pick in the draft, is an $11 million cap hit for him this year. And he won't even touch the field.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
He could. Like I said, there's a chance he could touch the field, and you don't want that.
Yeah. I mean, they got talent. They got some decent players. They got guys that are still on rookie deals like Sauce and Garrett Wilson, and then also and what's this, like Brees Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got guys. I don't know what it's going to.
Quentin Williams is still an absolute monster.
You know what? And they signed Tyrod Taylor too as their backup.
Yes. Yep. Not a bad backup.
So if Zach Wilson
is in
there, that means that something happened to Rodgers and Tyrod.
Which is not out of the realm of possibility.
No, Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod every year.
Yeah. He'll like go in for like a post-game massage and they'll like break all of his bones or something like that on accident. Poor guy. That guy has had nothing but bad luck.
Yep. That's the last thing that happened to him is probably gonna be like accidental amputation.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh
oh,
no.
Tyra, we cut off your throwing arm. It was not intended. Not intended. We just had this circular saw running here the whole time. Uh, yeah, I don't know. But that's a conversation for another time because Dak
Yep.
Prescott will be a Jet. I feel it in my bones. He will not be a Cowboy.
He could be in Minnesota. No, Minnesota's gonna draft the QB
Oh, and they'll
this
fail
this
at
year.
that. Maybe
So
they will get Dak next year. They'll be sitting there with JJ McCarthy wondering what did we do wrong. JJ McCarthy is gonna be the
as,
next Will Levis. It's like remember last year Will
as
Levis was like, oh, he might be the first overall pick, like because somebody from Will Levis's camp heard that they might go first, and then like he shot up the odds in Vegas. They had to pull him off of the can be number one pick board or whatever.
hmm
It's gonna happen with JJ McCarthy again. He's gonna shoot up there and then fall to the third round. Who knows?
Yeah, and just be in the break room like,
Yep.
well,
I thought I was,
keep this camera off me. Keep this camera off me.
and he shows up for all 3 days. And doesn't get picked till Poor JJ McCarthy. I already feel bad for him. All right, Harlan, we got to end this.
Oh,
We got
yes.
to end this. Me and my shiny face.
Very smooth,
Very
sir.
very smooth. Yes. Not a single
No blemishes.
not a single
No
line on my
blemishes.
face.
It's got to be your skincare, your
It
regimen,
is.
sir.
My regiment is glorious. All right, Harlan.
All right, man.
Let's call this. I'm gonna just turn off the stream.